Time for Chapter 2. This was a bit of a rush. I thought for sure that this stream wouldn't happen until after the Nintendo Direct. I was gonna stream maybe the Nintendo Direct reaction or something. I don't know if I'll do that now, and then go right into Psycholonials, because I figured it'd be out at like 3 or 4. No, it's already out. Oh, and I forgot to update this. I forgot to update my thing. Let's fix that. Is Psycholonials in the Twitch thing yet? It is! There we go. Psycholonials. Let's boot the game up, get it captured here. We'll see what this is like. I wonder if it'll still be just like 40 minutes, because we went pretty quickly last time. At least we're not having to wait around for a skateboard game while we wait. Gotta get reset up here. This is still all in VR setup mode. I was streaming in VR 2 days ago. Get it centered. Okay, there we go. Let's dive in. No, this is not right. No, take me to chapter 2. There we go. Oh, look at that. The Z on her cheek. Little bit of flair. That's like one little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh god, there's intermissions. Turn the audio up a bit. So, you just killed a cop and dumped his car in the ocean. Nice going, genius. Who is this? Who's this Dave quirk? The cold hand of justice will close around your throat soon enough. Whatever it is that justice even means these days. Maybe justice is just what happens whenever people with power manage to punish whoever was trying to fight back a little for once. Maybe that's why you need a little more power of your own. Enough power to claim justice is happening when you're the one settling the score. It's a weird quirk. They use periods unless it's the last sentence in the paragraph, and they don't. Or maybe what you need is even simpler than that. Maybe what you need is the power of choice. So what will you do, Zen? Shen? You're a fugitive now, and it seems only 2 choices are available. You can turn yourself in, or you can run. Run like the wind and hide. Find Abby, dry yourself off, bury yourself in your work, and figure it all out later. Which will it be? We're actually getting choices in this. Well, we know Runaway is the plot, right? I'm gonna do Runaway. Oh! Well, sorry, I should have mentioned. The ability to make meaningful choices in this story can only be unlocked by a true successor. Unfortunately, that's not you. Not quite yet, at least. What does that mean? Successor? Like, successor to Homestuck? Don't worry though, I'll check in again later when you've made a little more headway with this mess you've got yourself into. Until then, do whatever comes naturally, I guess. I'm sure it'll all work out. LMAO. Who is this? Is that Hussy? That is Hussy's quirk. He types like Dave. Chapter 2. Pranksis. Stop and Shop. You stand soaked and freezing, alone at the steamboat wharf at night. You just checked Uber and no drivers are currently available, which you could have guessed might be the case at this hour during a pandemic. Maybe you didn't fully think this plan through. No, you shouldn't second guess yourself. What you just did was because of some momentary sogginess. You review the facts. A nasty cop fired a bullet at an unarmed drunk girl who had just crashed into a tree. The bullet missed, but traveled directly through her painstakingly written manifesto, which really might have well been like taking a bullet straight through the heart. What sort of author would you be if you didn't feel this way? So you did what you had to be done. You checked the dead cop for a body camera, but he didn't appear to be wearing one. You're not sure if the sleepy NPD even used those. Well, you thought they were sleepy at least. You guess all police forces in quiet summer colonies seem sleepy until the bullets start flying toward drunk girls armed to the teeth with manifestos. Intro cutscene. There was not a cutscene this time. There was a very weird intermission with a mysterious voice, but there was not a full flash yet. But that squad car surely had a dashboard camera, so you had to do something. What were you gonna do? Shoot the gas tank and blow up the car? That probably only works in movies. And the water's right there. You're completely surrounded by the stuff, actually. Now, the only evidence linking you to the scene is your wrecked car registered to your name in the immediate vicinity of a dead cop without a squad car. Okay, that sounds pretty incriminating when you put it that way. You'll have to think about how to handle that, but more importantly, you really need to get out of here. You check Uber one more time. Now it says there's a ride available. 6 to 8 minutes away. That's a relief. It'll give you some time to improvise an alibi. You dial 911 and think about what you're going to say before hitting the dial button. The dispatcher picks up and asks about your emergency. You try to sound calm, but because it's not a real emergency, not when it comes to the role you're playing right now. You're still cozy and warm in your apartment. You just don't know where your car is. Hey, I don't know if this is a real emergency, I just don't know where else to call, but I'm pretty sure my car was stolen today. The dispatcher goes through the motions, asking for your name and other relevant information. No reason to hold anything back. You want them to know who you are so they can rule you out when they find the body in the wreck. You then continue weaving your improvised story. Yeah, so I think it might have been my abusive boyfriend. He's been snooping around lately and has a spare set of keys. The fucker never gave him back to me. The dispatcher asks about him. Damn, you didn't think this far ahead. Continue spinning. Oh, his name? Sorry, I'm pretty scared of him. I'm not sure if I want to be on record ratting him out. Don't you have like a witness protection shit I can do? Dispatcher explained that isn't really how that works, but they can send an officer over in the morning so you can file a police report. Oh, wow, no, I don't think, you really need to end this call soon before the wheels completely fall off this attempted alibi. Hey, can I text photos to you to 911 of the police? How do I do that? The dispatcher provides you with a number to text, and you hang up. You're just gonna blame it on Percy! Your mind races for the right play. You panic and send the most recent photo which comes to mind. That probably was not the best idea. Maybe you should have just hung up after saying you were scared to give his name, but you had to go further with this bullshit. Witness protection program? What the hell was that? Oh well, it's gone. Small wrinkle in your alibi, but you think you've easily done enough to leave the police feeling confused about what happened tonight. So now, people were upset when she insulted this lame boy on the internet, which is surely one thing, but she has now framed him for murder. Your Uber's here, not a moment too soon. You're freezing and exhausted. Somehow role-playing on the phone with a first responder has been more psychologically draining than exchanging gunfire with one. That's good music. Oh, there's Abby's house. Whoa, I can't believe you actually came. I've just been watching my phone all night waiting for you to tell me you can't make it at all. Get in here, there's plenty to eat. I made... Z, are you okay? Why are you so wet? You look soaked. Oh, yeah, I fell in a puddle on the way over. Well, you were right, I was too drunk to drive, so I just took an Uber. It's hard to find a ride at this time of night. Oh yeah, I bet. So you fell in a puddle and got soaked head to toe. It was a big fucking puddle. Jesus. Why don't you go clean up? You can grab anything from the room to change into something dry. Yeah, dry sounds good. Okay, I'll be right there. I'll heat you up some dinner when you get back. LMA, oh god, you poor thing. You're having a rough day, aren't you? Don't worry, you made the right call coming over. I'll take care of you. Thanks, Mom. You can't bring yourself to tell her yet. Tonight was too much. You just need an evening to unwind without making Abby freak out about your cop murder. You sure you'll get around to telling her later if you can think of the right way to break it to her? She's been too good a friend to saddle her with the disastrous karma you can't seem to avoid stockpiling. Or perhaps you aren't stockpiling karma so much as just so much as dharma. Or maybe it's some chaotic juxtaposition of the two concepts. Maybe you've been key smashing your whole way through life, and only now is your soul reaping the auto-corrected responses of this haphazard practice. Gotta ditch this, You stash her in one of the bottom drawers underneath some junk. She'll probably never look in here. You guess you could have tossed the gun too, sent it to a watery grave along with the squad car. But now you're technically a fugitive. You trust the future even less than you did at the start of the day. There's no guarantee you won't need this again later. You didn't ask for this shit. Yeah, you guess you shouldn't have been out driving drunk, but why should that mean you're suddenly dodging bullets from one of NPD's finest? Whatever, the pig is dead. But you know, the matter isn't done with you by a long shot. It'll keep haunting you unless you start fighting back. This was the gift that departed officer gave you tonight. An albatross that'll hang around your neck for the rest of your life. But you suddenly decide not to see it that way. The true gift he gave you was resolve. You're so pissed about it, now you know you're on the right track. Your ambivalence about rebooting your brand is completely gone now. In its place is the same rage and disgust which led you to write your manifesto in the first place. So she's being forced into activism. She's a murderer now. So, I have often talked in my head about blockbustering, which is like filibustering, but it has to do with, not paying your Blockbuster late fees and hoping the company will go out of business, which they did, and then you don't have to pay your late fees. And that could be extended to all of capitalism. Why pay any of your bills? If we're gonna end it soon. So Abby is now she's gonna go to jail no matter what, so why not fight like hell and just end cops all? Just end it all. Nothing else to lose. Rage and disgust for the injustice, for the systematic evils of this nation, for the weakness and compliance which quell the righteous outrage of its citizens. And now, several years after its completion, there's even more to be mad about. Persecution from the miserable wretches online who cancelled you. The ensuing mental breakdown which caused your life to spiral till you ended up on this island. And now on top of all that, an almost certain shitstorm brewing from law enforcement once they start piecing together what happened tonight. Well, they can do their worst. All the dirtbags out there can have at you soon enough, because you won't be hiding for much longer. Your brand is about to get a very serious facelift, and once you step into the spotlight again, from now on people are going to find it a lot harder to ignore what you have to say. She's risking real hard. You and Abby have a lot to work to tomorrow. The next day. There's the horse. Your name is Abby. It's pronounced exactly as it's spelled, so that's made life pretty easy for you. Another thing that's made life easy is the fact that your parents are rich. Rich doesn't really do it justice, though. Most people who vacation on this island for the summer are rich, relative to the average American citizen. Your parents are billionaires. And not the kind that barely qualify. 1 billion has 10 digits, but they didn't seem content to stop at 10, and society was more than happy to oblige. They own the house you live in, which represents a minuscule rounding error in the grand scheme of their total net worth. Easy to forget about most of the year, and they probably would if you didn't live here year-round. Growing up, you formed memories of this place strictly as a summer home, but after college, you decide to move in here permanently. Mostly because it keeps them out of your hair. It's not the most convenient place to visit, so they never bother until the summer rolls around. And this year is looking more and more like the summer as you once understood it, never will. It's roughly 9 a.m., and you've just woken up. Later than yesterday, but that's okay. You were up late last night, tending to your beleaguered friend, and even popular influencers need to sleep sometimes. Your bedroom is tidy, and you always notice if it isn't. You make sure to keep it that way to reflect well on your brand whenever this room is used as a backdrop for your content. Ordinarily, you'd reach for your smartphone first thing in the morning, after an extensive routine of cooking breakfast, exercising, and feeding your beautiful horse. But right after all that, you go for your phone to check out the action surrounding your exceedingly well-trafficked accounts. But for whatever reason, today feels a little different. Alright, prediction? Homestuck name for the horse. I think she got that horse when she was into Homestuck, because these people were into Homestuck. It's gonna be Equius. Instead, you decide to take in the environment. As a thoughtful influencer, you really can't spend too much time tweaking the appearance of the lifestyle you sell to the adoring public. Nothing is left to chance. Your posters are carefully chosen and arranged to broadcast the preferred aesthetic to your crowd, and that aesthetic turns out to be a simple composite of your interests, which, judging from this wall, appears to be BTS, horses, and... well, that's about it. Your mind is a train that chugs along precisely 2 narrow rails. You'd almost be embarrassed about the single-mindedness of your enjoyments, but what can you say? You like what you like, and you make no excuses. Your fans are nothing if not supportive of these twin obsessions. You get a little closer to hanging a graphic depicting your favorite boys. It's hard to resist basking in their glow every now and then. BTS is an extremely popular K-pop group, and you are a vocal member of ARMY, which is what the fandom calls itself. You estimate the majority of your waking hours contemplating these several extraordinary, beautiful boys. Your bio says you're bisexual, but you often like to joke in your posts that you like women, as well as exactly 7 men. That's it. You're also an avid Jikook truther, which is to say, you strongly believe Jimin and Jungkook are secretly in love with each other, but you don't consider this a theory or even practically a well-kept secret. The evidence is overwhelming, and those who refuse to concede to these stone-cold facts are blind, delusional charlatans. You've even written a manifesto on the subject, which, as you've told Z before, is something only crazy people do. But you are the one exception to that rule, since when it comes to this subject, you aren't crazy at all. Your eyes are wide open. Your wide-open eyes wander to another poster, featuring a number of majestic stallions. What else is there to say on the matter? You just plain fucking love horses. Enough said? Yeah, you think so. Horses kick ass. The end. You meander toward your desk. Mostly cosmetic and hair supplies live here. Plus, some other silly stuff to keep things fun whenever you stream content from the station. Little conversation pieces. Things for your fans to notice and comment on. Nothing from any fandom you're particularly interested in per se, but you're mindful of the interests of your followers and like to throw little bones here or there. When you're not streaming or doing yourself up for shoots, yes, this here is the main reason you find yourself at this desk. You primarily use this laptop to write your fics. Lately, it's all RPF stories dedicated to exploring the alternate universe lives of your 7 favorite boys. Many of these fics get pretty racy. None of your fans have even the slightest idea this is one of your hobbies. You keep a pretty tight lid on the habit, since it's frowned upon in many fandom circles, to say the least. 1 second. Okay. The truth is, you'd think you'd get crucified if you got found out. But you're not much like Z, and don't throw caution to the wind as she has in the past. Your brand is a tight ship. Well, except when it comes to excessively sharing your sexual exploits with your followers. In that sense, it's quite a loose ship, but when it comes to writing fiction, that's a whole different can of worms. And heads will understandably roll if the wrong type of online stories were to be associated with your name. Is this supposed to be Piggy? Is this IPGD? Because I've read her fics that she doesn't have signed to her name anymore. Woo! And horse isn't on BTS. There's your horse. Oh no, his name is David Hasselhoof. That's a good name. Your parents got him for you as a high school graduation present when he was just a wobbly-legged little colt. That makes him almost 10 years old now. When you graduated from Harvard, the first thing you did was make plans to transport David to the island where you could reunite with him and tend to him on your own in the summer home. He is by far your favorite family member, the very essence of quiet strength and loyalty. As for the silly name, it came with the horse. You'd never even heard of David Hasselhoff before you got him. You assume it's a pop cultural reference that boomers would get worked up about, but the way you saw it, who are you to fault them for their pop references? God knows you're prone to indulging in the references held dear by you and your peers, so you can't possibly begrudge your elders the same simple joy. Besides, you thought the name was cute. Oh, your phone's buzzing. Who could this be? Oh, it's Z starting a video chat. Not out of the ordinary, but quite ridiculous in the context, considering she slept in your house last night. Oh my god. What up? Hey, you're awake. Kinda. Why don't you come downstairs? I'll make you something. Check out this bitch you can't seem to stop feeding me. What did I even do to deserve this bed and breakfast shit? You do realize I suck, right? You've been living a very unhealthy lifestyle. I just want to help you recuperate before you sink back into your den of despair. I don't know if I'll be coming back anytime soon. Your parents' huge bed is super comfy. I must say I enjoy rolling around its extravagant expanse, getting my stank all over it. I feel like I'm marking my territory. Haha, I'm glad you're amusing yourself in there. I pissed in it, actually, to really get the job done. Well, no you didn't. Please tell me you didn't... Sure I did. Please tell me you didn't actually pee in my parents' bed. Well, no, not yet at least. I do have to pee in the bed, though. Oh my fucking... Will you please get the fuck out of there? Come on, we're in the same house. This is dumb. Let's hang out. Tell me about your big plans. Oh yeah, that shit. I almost forgot why I made the harrowing journey to your manor. Yes, I know, you risk life and limb here, fell in a huge puddle. I'm hanging up now. Come downstairs. Whose dick do you have to suck to get a mimosa around here? Mine. Well, if I must. But if that's how it's gotta be, then your bed and breakfast is about to get a Yelp review for the ages. Z, why don't you hold off on the booze a while? It isn't even 10 a.m. yet. Here, I'll fix you some orange juice. What? I thought this was brunch. That's how you do brunch, right? Yesterday you were so drunk barfing in your macaroni and falling into puddles. Oh yeah. Just slow down. My parents have a wine cellar which you can feel free to raid tonight. Wow, nice. The Yelp review just got a lot better. Good enough to bury the toddy dick-sucking lead, at least. Lol. So, speaking of last night, I've fallen into puddles. What about it? Well, you were completely soaked last night. But I noticed your manuscript was dry. Yeah, okay, so I lost my balance, and I could tell I was... you haven't missed too much. Abby is a rich jerk. There's not a lot of action in this stuff yet. She did frame Percy for her murder. Or for her murder of the cop. Yeah, I didn't want my thing to, get wet, because, printing out another one would be a fucking pain. But I noticed your manuscript was dry. Oh, wait, no, I already read that. So I was falling, I used my quarterback arm and, launched it to safety. Then splash, down I go. I see. And you call them steamed hams, despite the fact that they're obviously grilled. Yes, I see. No, the cop thing is not... The cop thing? She called the cops and reported her car as stolen so that the cops would think it wasn't her. And then she sent them a picture of Percy and said, oh, it's probably my ex-boyfriend, this guy. Why is there a hole in it? Oh, that's a hell of a story. It looks like a bullet hole. Yeah, it is. I shot my own fucking manifesto. You mean last night? No. This was years ago when I finished the thing. Remember my whole mental breakdown? Oh, damn. Yes, you told me the story, but I guess not all of it? The day I finished that thing coincided almost exactly when all that was going down. Like when my dad died and I dropped out of school and completely fell apart and said all that crazy shit online, I also finished my manifesto and guess I, shot it. Going nuts. Jesus. Well, you're the one who tells me only crazy... Wait, didn't Hussy wear that shirt? That BTS shirt? Is it really surprising I'd pop a cap in my own magnum opus? Oh, that's a good double entendre. The magnum opus. I guess not. I have to admit I feel kind of crazy maintaining my own manifesto, but I don't think I would ever shoot it. That just means you can't be all that passionate about it. Oh, excuse me, but that is bullshit. I mean every word of it with all my heart. You should read it. I'm not reading your sordid K-pop manifesto. Why not? I'm trying to help you understand your stuff and help you with it. Because you don't need to sell me anything. If you said that your boy and Jim Kook are fucking each other, then I believe you. But there's so much to it! Yes, and I believe it. Just let those boys be in love, good for them. I don't need it proven through your painstaking academic rigors. Ha, okay, fair enough. Meanwhile, unlike you, I'm intellectually curious enough to delve into another woman's delirious manifesto. You read it? A few pages, that is what I could glean around the gaping bullet hole. So what do you think? It's unsurprisingly quite intense. I'd expect nothing less. It's also very, what? Clown-heavy? Yeah, it's all about clowns. Was this all just inspired by your Juggalo phase? I don't know about that. There are a lot of inspirational forces that went into this. Mostly all the shit that came to me in a series of increasingly psychotic dreams in the run-up to my mental breakdown. That's pretty hardcore. Now you want to turn whatever this is into your new brand. Yep, I'm fully fucking committed to it now, on a fucking mission. Well, cool. I mean, I remember you talking about it before, but it was always in the vague context of some crazy thing you wrote. Not something you would actually want to do something with, so if I'm gonna help you out, maybe you can explain it to me a little more? Here we go. Mostly it's just a bunch of revolutionary rhetoric about how America and capitalism sucks and should be destroyed. Naturally. But the socialist rhetoric is repackaged to be super clowny. Well, who doesn't love a nice clown? Fucking nobody. So that's it. Lots of radical left-wing philosophy, plus everyone gets to be a clown. Basically, but there's a lot more to it. There's tons of lore. Lore. Yeah, that's what my feverish dreams provided lately. It's so much shit. I talk about where these ideas come from. The Jubilities originated on the planet Whimsife. Whoa, a planet. So, Jubilites are alien clowns? Yeah, well, they were. Their civilization died millions of years ago, and their founder has been communicating to me through the dreams. Not literally, I know they're just dreams, but that's what the lore says. Whimsify. That's how it's pronounced, but it's spelled Whimsipae. Whimsify. Well, lol, cool, I didn't know it was this deep. Guess it was just a whole creative writing project then, not just a crazy manifesto? Oh no, it's still crazy as fuck. But yeah, it runs deep. I think my new brand will just release the whole thing sequentially, like in little bits, a few pages at a time. Oh boy. Okay, so where do we start? Well, obviously the first thing I'm gonna need is a new clown sona. So are we playing a game about Hussy making the game? It's just very Ouroboros. Ooh, that sounds fun. Also, I called, I've been talking in chats all week about what's gonna happen next. She's the clown from the teaser. Absolutely. She dresses up as a clown to hide her identity. Yeah, clowns are fun as shit. That's the whole point of them. LMAO. That's how I envision rebooting my brand. I just start the fuck over. Then I come out with, like, my clown sona. I'm like, hey, this is me now. I'm a fucking clown. And I do a bunch of photo shoots and that's my starting content. Once I establish myself that way, then I start rolling out the serialized manifesto content. This is just Hussy in the last year. You don't need to tell us this. We lived this. You just did this. You're currently doing this. Like, start pitching it to people and see if I can drag more enthusiastic new clowns into my tent. I mean, that's what happened to me. This sounds great. I can help you come up with a clown sona. Maybe later I can make one too? Oh, I'd expect nothing less. You make up such a lovely jubilite. Wow, flattery will get you everywhere. Better, bitch. Lol. How about after breakfast we head up to my vanity mirror? We can give you a whole glow up. A clown up. Hell yeah. And then I'll have a dozen people playing it on Steam. I'll release it as a visual novel. This needs to be better than my old Juggalo clown sona. What did that look like? Do you have any photos? Probably, but it just looked like some edgy teen piss. You don't need to see that shit. You'll contaminate your results. Didn't you also cosplay a long time ago? You should be an old hand at this. Maybe you don't even need my help. Yes, I did when I was a kid, but you don't have nearly the amount of gray makeup it takes to duplicate those results. Huh? Never mind, we won't be speaking of that. I just want to make some cool clown shit happen here. I think I want to do something with Z's. Z's? Like my name? Oh yeah, let me try something. Oh, actually, that's fucking sick. You like it? Yes, I do. Abs for a ridiculous bimbo. You can be a genius sometimes. I mean, I did graduate from Harvard, you know. Yeah, by fucking all the professors, right? Well, yes, but isn't that what a genius would do? I rest my case. Here, let me mess with this look some more. Aw, look at you. This is so cute. It's not supposed to be cute, though. It's supposed to be badass. Well, it's that too, but mostly it's cute because I know who's underneath. Oh my god. What? I don't know, maybe my clown sona is working too well. You're already hitting on me. Oh, but I always do that. I know, but now I've added clown pheromones to the equation. Could be dangerous. So is that it? You think you're done? With the face, yeah. But obviously, I need some new ensembles. None of your clothes are going to cut it because you're an absurd giant. And I don't want to go back to my place anytime soon because, well, I just don't. We could always go shopping this week. More places are open for business than you would think. Yeah, but what about a name? What? Doesn't your clown sona need a clowny name? No, I think I'll just keep my name, since it's already a name I gave myself to replace my parent-given name. I'll rebrand and all, but I won't keep name-hopping like a fool. I guess that makes sense. Some old haters will link my new brand with my controversial past, but I don't really care at this point. They can take their best shot. I'm not running anymore. Where does Hussy end and Z begin? It's all overlap. Am I allowed to make up a clowny name when I make a clown sona? Oh, of course. That is strongly encouraged for all those who choose to clown up. Oh, I know what I'll go with. My old screen name when I was a kid. Ablipie. Oh, I see. Well, now who's the one being fucking cute? I guess it was me when I was 10 years old and playing Neopets, but also it's still in your cute clown makeup. You're right. It's a shame to waste all this clowny cuteness on my gay mother who would think I was cute even if I took a shit right on her bedroom floor. Wow. So why don't we take the new brand for a spin and see what people think? But you don't have your new fits yet. Whatever, I'll just take a headshot selfie. You want in on this? Lol, okay. Wow. You clear out your Instagram account, deleting the photos from your stale brand, and post the inaugural selfie showing off your new clown Sona. Abby cross-posts the same photo to her account and tags you in it. No going back now. The new brand has officially launched. The day slips by as you monitor the comments and feedback on your humble starter post. The reception to your clown Sona is almost universally positive. You can't tell if it's a real praise or if Abby's followers are just being polite to her friend who's an obvious charity case and just got a nice pity shout out. It doesn't matter though, because at the end of the day, clout is clout, and you have to start somewhere. You already have over 10,000 new followers, which seems like an absurdly high number to you. But when you consider you're just siphoning off of some of Abby's following of 3 million, it's just a tiny drop in the bucket. Still, it's a strong start for only having posted a single clown selfie, and now it's up to your showmanship to build on it. Still clowned up, huh? Yeah, I'm living in the paint for a while, trying to get into character. There's a character? I thought the clown Sona was just you. Well, it is. The Jubilite Manifesto says your clown Sona is an expression of your truest self, like a final form. Sounds like some anime shit. It's totally some anime shit. Well, it sure seems like people are enjoying your clown Sona. I think you're just being polite for now. A little bit patronizing. Your followers just like whatever you do, so of course you're gonna be nice to your weird clown friend. Well, let's see how they really feel once I start rolling out my actual content. I'm really curious to see where it goes. I'll just keep giving you shoutouts until we can get your brand to take flight. I can't believe what a chicken shit I was being about following you. This could be fun. The losers who'd have a problem with me supporting you aren't even worth my consideration anyway. Yeah, basically, and besides, nobody's even said anything yet. Maybe because nobody connected with my previously problematic identity yet? I suppose that is one advantage to clowning up. You keep the old haters guessing. The old haters will probably catch up on soon enough, and then we'll see what the actual consequences that will have. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I hope they show themselves. Makes it easier for me to keep an eye on them. Yeah, whatever. Life is too short to worry about how the opinions of shitty people reflect on your reputation. We're just having some fun here. Speaking of which, looks like you found the wine cellar. Oh yeah. I highly recommend, 2016 Domaine Georges Romier Moussage. Excellent vintage. Well, if you say so. I don't actually know anything about wine. Vintage of 4 years. Brand is this volume's simp. Neither do I. I just looked around the cellar and checked prices online. This was the most expensive shit I could find. It goes for $17,000 a bottle. Really? The internet says so, yeah. I had no idea my parents had such a pricey stuff down there. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Don't they also have a bunch of fucking Bentleys in the garage? There's one Bentley and a few other cars, but yeah, they spend money on lots of stupid things. Maybe we should have saved the super expensive wine for a special occasion, though. Bitch, this is a special occasion. Just a couple of friends hanging out for the first time in forever, clowning up and making plans to cause problems on purpose. You're right. If that doesn't count as a $17,000 night, then I don't know what does. Cheers. Clink. Let this mark the beginning of a long and fruitful endeavor to exploit the living shit out of your parents and their obscene hoard of ill-gotten wealth. I'll certainly drink to that. What else do you have in mind? Give me some time to build the brand first, then I'll let you know what's up. It's all related. You'll see. The suspense is killing me. I hope you're prepared to bring this level of showmanship to your new brand and not waste it all on me. You don't need to worry about that. You just keep supplying me with fresh new simps, and I'll play the role of ringmaster. Who's calling? Nobody. Nantucket Police Department. Just some fucking spam. 1 week later. Oh my god. Hold on. Did it update? Yes! Yes! Okay! Look! Look! It actually updated! Use Z cosplay repost if you want your Z cosplay reposted on this account. Oh my god. Wow. Now everyone's role-playing, they're into it. Because back on the other post stuff, it was like, show me your feet. Do you fart? And now people are like, nice post, hit me up, very cool. I love that people are playing along with it. Okay, back to the game. After 7 days and nights of being supplied with a steady diet of fresh new simps due to Abby's enthusiastic hype, combined with your newfound flair for social media ringmastering, your Instagram following has ballooned to a figure you can barely comprehend. Just over 500,000 new subscribers. This total was unfathomable to you at one point, but you have to keep reminding yourself this is a modest fraction of Abby's total fandom. They count as your fans too now, and only by the promotion she has generously provided. The true test comes when you begin to flex your vision in front of a sizable starting crowd. You've begun releasing the introductory portions of your manifesto, which have been met with a largely positive reception, if somewhat confused as well. While your new fans appear to be humoring your dogmatic content, they mainly seem to be here for the novelty of your clowny e-girl stuff. You're rolling in more simps you know what to do with now, an almost limitless reservoir of thirsty boys who would appear at your disposal for just about anything. Is this game gonna end with her leading an army of simps in Revolution? Like, it's just a city on fire and she's standing there and it's just all these guys. Like all these big himbos beating up cops. I'd be into that. Of course, they're mostly all the same eager simps who've been hounding after Abby for years, who seem more than willing to migrate to a greener, clownier pasture. And of course, as expected, a few antis have begun to surface as well. And they brought receipts. You knew they would. You simply delete the comments containing links to your previously problematic behavior, block, move on. Their negativity is overwhelmingly drowned out by some more positive comments. An absolutely disgusting person. If you stand this problematic piece of garbage, just unfollow me now. TickleRick.fart, total shit. This is a relief to see, and it helps you rise above the hate. Oh my god, antis. She has a Google Doc list. But you don't rise above it before you take a note of every single hater and anti who smears you in your comment sections and elsewhere. You make sure to maintain a thorough list of every nasty piece of shit before you block, move on, and benevolently rise above the noise. They are nothing to you now, except motivation. Candish Mandis, TickleRick Fart, Eric B., NB Garfield. Oh, someone take that name right now. NB Garfield is a solid username. The Catra Kinney. Horny for Bojack. Hey, does Hussy have one of these? Is this autobiographical? Am I on the list? Soft Boy Makara. Soft Boy Makara. There's a Gamzee stan. Lol, what, Wendy? Pickle Rick shit. Pickle Rick balls. Soft Boy Makara. Motivation to prove them wrong and make them deeply sorry if it ever even occurred to them to post unkind words about such a cute and creative clown girl with a sensational new brand. Your sharp rise in the coattails of your famous friend has been all but good fun to the monitor, but the fact is, you've barely even begun revealing the good shit. And before you share that stuff with your new fandom, you'll need to make sure Abby is up to speed on the next phase of the campaign. Abby, we need to talk about Pranksis. What? Pranktious. It's like pranks. It's the first critical piece of Jubilite doctrine. It'll be unveiling soon. But you need to know about it first, and much more importantly, you need to practice it. I do? Why? Because pretty soon this movement is gonna need money. And I mean an absolute fuck ton of money. As generous as you've been with your credit cards helping me buy new clothes and shit, that level of financing, not gonna cut it. One of my credit cards is $1 million limit. Wow, a whole $1 million. That's cute. Cute. Z, you drive a fucking Kia. And yet I am the one with an exceptionally refined palate for expensive wine. And I also know $1 million is the bullshit chicken feed number. You need to start thinking bigger. Maybe you should try to relax. Your account's off to a good start. Between the two of our accounts, we really pull together some really good revenue streams. If you start stressing out about how it's all chicken feed money or whatever, you won't have any fun. Wasn't that the point of all this, to have fun? Abby, you still don't understand. Pranktious is the very essence of having fun. And the more money you make, the more it multiplies the fun you're having. Okay, I'm sure that's true and all, but that's one of the points I've always been trying to make with my parents. I've already been doing some serious numbers. I know I half-assed my business degree, but I've actually been able to translate my following into a pretty profitable situation, while having a good time doing it. so my parents can both go eat shit about my bad career choices. Yeah, on the topic of your parents, that's what this is about. I thought this was supposed to be about Pranktious. It's also about Pranktious. What the fuck is Pranktious? Pranktious is fucking everything. A mission-critical plank in the Jubilite platform. A central pillar, actually. It's what most of my manifesto sanctioned around clownery revolves around. It also happens to be the key to how I start bankrolling the fuck out of this jam. Alright, genius, so what is it? Well, you know what a prank is. Yes? Do you know what Pranktious is? Praxis is? No. Lol, well, forget all that then. Doesn't actually matter. Let's talk about your parents. If you help me out with this, then that'll be your first real-life lesson in Pranktious. When's the last time you talked to them? A couple days ago, actually? They rarely call, but they do keep an eye on my accounts. And I guess they noticed I've been doing something different lately. They sure do hate your crazy socialist diatribes. But I also have them believing this is all just an act to own the libs or whatever, like, good for ratings and all, but down the road we're just gonna fuck with people about it, turn it into a racket or something. It's just easier to deal with them if I tell them shit like that. They think it's a good... I'm adding cuss words to her speech. NB Garfield is available on Twitter, but you're not oh my god. This is all incredibly good, actually. Abby, you didn't even know it, but you're quite naturally gifted with the art of Pranktious already. I am? Yeah, this is the perfect table setting, prepping the marks and all, so I don't even think I have much explaining to do right here. I just need you to call them again soon. I already typed a bunch of notes to hit in your conversation. Okay. By now, you've become considerably more familiar with the finances of Abby's family. Over the past week, you pieced together a more complete picture through questioning Abby and a few other methods of research. Their political activity was some of the easiest stuff to find. Over the last 4 years, they've been steadily making these huge donations to the Trump campaign. She's gremlining her friend. But more recently, it looks like they've switched to becoming heavy Biden donors. You're sure it's not for any ideological reasons, but that's likely due to the entire Trump charade looking more like a sinking ship all the time, especially in light of the pandemic response and the economic fallout. You can tell this move must have been a bitter pill for her dad to swallow, and while he is kind of a dumbass, he's not so stupid as to let a perfectly hollow, easily corruptible president waltz into office without making a whole bunch of money of his first. The truth is, in the man's heart of hearts, you doubt he really gives a shit about which senile rapist gets to run the show, as long as he gets to take photos with him at $50,000 per plate fundraising dinners. And if you take a closer look at the companies which they own a lot of shares in, it becomes pretty obvious the economic disruption has hit them pretty hard. Wild swings in their total net worth to the tune of billions. Their money people must have been moving the assets around like crazy to protect what's left. It's hard to pin down their total net worth given the complexity of their holdings, but your recent estimates have it somewhere between $20 and $30 billion. But probably not for long, depending on the economy, of course, as well as what you and Abby can manage to put into motion with your revolutionary new philosophy known as Pranktious. Buy GameStop! Buy GameStop! Well, I just had a pretty long talk with them. They were really surprised I called, but happy to hear from me. Never called out of the blue like that. That's good. What happened? I just went through everything you listed for me. But naturally, you know, I had to talk for a long time. I just bullshitting my way with small talk, so it seems suspicious. That's great. See, I told you. You barely need any coaching at all. LMAO, come on, Z. Why are you so surprised I'm good at working with my parents? I've been bamboozling these people my whole life. I bet. Go on. I finally got around to bringing up the Bitcoin stuff again. Actually, it was pretty smooth because I actually brought it up... What? Like, a year ago? Remember that? Yeah, because I told you to. I know! Wait, have you been planning this for that long? At the time I thought you were just having me do it as a goof. It was a goof, but also served the double purpose of layering the groundwork in case we ever really wanted to finally make all this stuff happen. That's how you have to do it. Think long term and just make the most of future opportunities as they present themselves. Or create those opportunities like we're doing now. Yeah, so I started babbling about Bitcoin shit again, per your notes, but I still feel like I don't know what I'm talking about when I get into it. I know you don't. It's good you sound a little confused about it, because you are. You're not supposed to be an expert, this is just stuff you've been reading up on a little. All you're doing is priming them. Right, so are you really gonna hack all my parents' money? Like, that wasn't just more of your outrageous bullshit all this time? Abby, this is what hacking is. It's like 90% social engineering. You need to be patient, plant all these seeds along the way, set up points of psychological leverage, and when the time is right, you have like a little bit of low-end programming ready to go. It's all a lot easier than it sounds. It is? Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of stuff already. I bet you have. Over the last week, I've been micro-targeting your parents on Facebook with ads for Bitcoin shit. Oh my god. For the service I want them to be using, of course. It's a real service, deals in high-volume crypto transaction. The point is, I want to get them to do the real shit first, then get tricky with it a little later. I've also been emailing them shit that looks legit enough, kind of bombarding them with info, offhand testimony from trusted people, other rich folks spooked about the economy, and now you're one of the human levers too. When the time comes, you're the one who pushes them to make the final move. Who are the trusted people? I mean, they're fake. That's all just me. I started a few fake chain emails, you know, the ones boomers love to reply to and forward around. It's like catnip. They can't fucking help themselves. There's a ton of crap email addresses in the recipient field, including a bunch from people I know they're acquaintances with. Nobody too close, but names of other rich people they'd recognize and listen to if they saw them babbling about crypto as a way to protect their billions in a dumb email chain. Wow. I actually did this on a whim, being skeptical of the returns, but it's been working phenomenally. I got your mom to reply to one of these chains a few times credulously. I worked her a little bit with one of the sock puppets, some other rich dude I met. It's so easy to get these names. The Republican donor lists are kind of a gold mine. Wait, you've been talking to my mom? Sure, why not? That isn't even the good part. Huh? After I got her interested enough in the subject, I had this dude kind of pull her aside. I deleted all the names from the chain and just worked on her one-on-one. Got pretty flirty. Turns out your mom's a real saucy bitch. What? Bottom line is she's sort of having an affair right now. Sorry about your mom getting a lot more side action from me than you could have imagined. Oh my god! Please don't be jealous. It's just some undercover spy work, like some James Bond shit. This breathtakingly horny Karen means nothing to me, I promise. I'm losing my mind. Well, if I knew you'd be this hot and bothered by it, I would have just blind copied you all the emails. I mean, I still could. Ah! Z, you're unbelievable! How do you come up with shit like this? Cool your jets, Abby. I already said what's going on. You're just a bit of playful pranktious, that's all. Not even that far along in the process, really. It's only phase 1. Oh, here we go! We're doing the phases! Phase 1? Yeah, I'm just setting them up. At the right moment, you, a trusted and beloved daughter who is famous and influential, will knock them down. Okay, I believe you, but how do I do that? Fine, I'll just walk you through the play. The thing to do right now is to wait for the right opportunity. Everyone's already spooked about the economy, so we pick our spot, and when we do, we exploit their fears over more huge stock market losses as swoop in with the Bitcoin shit. Is Hussey saying he planned the GameStop thing? What is happening? So, people in the chat are very confused. Z is doing social engineering to play her to get still money from Abby's parents, but it's sort of in a way that Hussey is encouraging kids to start learning how to do social engineering, and about how that is the key to the leftist movement, is to start messing with Republicans with phone calls and emails and nonsense. But I wonder, like, how did he get... I guess anyone could have guessed there'd be a big stock market event eventually in COVID, but it was just like 3 weeks ago. It's so on the nose. And I work my angles too, like your mom. My email chain Romeo says he's just shifted most of his assets to crypto to ride this out, whereas you're coming at him like an heiress. Just say you're trying to do your part to protect the family fortune. You push the same exchange site I've been pushing with my micro-targeting. So I get them to buy a ton of bitcoins, and then you hack the coins. Well, no, there's no hacking involved, just stealing. The exchange service really exists. It's a real place to buy coins, you put them all in a wallet. Their financial people will agree this is a sound way to do it. It's solid and vetted. I don't expect them to do anything that their money guys wouldn't sign off on. We just step into the middle of the process. What's the key to revolution? We should labor. Yeah, it's pranktious. It's pulling pranks on Republicans. We just step into the middle of the process, the part where your dad stores the shit in the digital wallet. I designed a spoof wallet site that looks and functions exactly like the one on the real site he's buying from. Similar URL, even ask for a password first. Do you have this password? No, don't you see it? These are all mind games. You enter any shit in the login fields and it works fine. But he'll enter his real name and password, at which the game's over. Once I have that, I could do almost anything. But it doesn't even need to stop there. He could even just go right ahead, feeling confident it's just a secure site because it just accepted his password. And then he stores the coin data directly into my fake-ass wallet. At which point, he's just fucking handed the coins right over to me. It's basic phishing shit. Someone call Kit Boga. Usually, yeah, this is strangely capitalist of Z to be doing. This isn't quite socialist, Z. What are you doing? You just shot a cop. I think you've proven that direct action is the way to get things done. Not this year-long harebrained scheme to make a few dollars on Bitcoin. Cool, you're almost there, Dad. Now open the wallet. Here's a link to that. I see. And once the coins are ours, that's it. Their money's gone. I resell them, move the money around a bit, stash it in offshore accounts. My guess is if we pull it off, it would be a long time before we even realized it was gone. And if that happens, I don't know, just blame hackers or whatever. Well, hackers did take it. Exactly. So how much are we going here for? Like, all their money? Probably not. No way anyone's pushing or do a $20 or $30 billion Bitcoin transaction, and their money people would ship bricks if it was proposed. But you hype them up as much as possible. Whatever their guys can agree to as a sound diversification policy. Okay, Z, what are you even gonna do with all this money? Oh, I have some ideas. Oh boy, well, I can't wait to find out what they are. Ding dong. Ding dong bing bong. A body has been discovered! Please report to the gym! Huh? Who could that be? Who is that? Percy isn't on the island yet. Are we gonna meet a new character? Oh, it's the cops. Okay. But they haven't lounged by the pool or slept together in bed yet, so Z's not gonna get dragged off yet. There's little Rose Lalondes. They're coming in. Oh no. Oh, she's doing the look out the window sad thing. The key to the revolution is Bitcoin. The free market. This is ANCAP. She's gone full ANCAP. That's it? That's not... That wasn't a great ending. We know she doesn't get caught. We've seen in the trailer that she's still around the house. And there's no video in this chapter. I guess it's only a week till the next one, so this one's a bit small, but that wasn't anything. I have to say the same thing I said when I finished the first part, which is, it did not surprise me in the slightest. I guessed everything that was going to happen. Except maybe her ANCAP mood. I expected her to be more direct action. This is very not right. This game is so stupid. It has potential. The weird thing about it is that it's done. This full manifesto is already written. So Hussey's... Okay, I gotta catch people up who are watching this without context. In the 2 weeks between the last chapter and this chapter, Andrew Hussey posted a news post on the Homestuck Patreon, saying that the Homestuck Squared Patreon is being shut down, the comic's going on indefinite hiatus, because the way fandom treats creators nowadays is not something that can handle a serialized work of media. That's fair. But it also touched on a little more social, political stuff. There's the stuff of him on his Instagram, the stuff of him at the Communist Party, all that jazz. So this game has an air around it where we've read of what some of Hussey has to say after writing this game. He wrote this game, then he did E-Boy Declussy photos on Instagram, then he shut down Homestuck 2 and left that big note. And it was also after most of the Homestuck 2 team left after this was written. So it's possible that a lot of them, like, I don't know if Kate read an early rough draft of this or what happened there, but it existed in its complete form already last summer. Which is also weird because it's touching on topics that happened this year. So there's a weird misalignment of, we now know the beginning of this, and then we know the end, that Hussey still ends up disenchanted with the fandom, even after venting in this game. And I can't tell how much is him playing along to not spoil this, or if this game really is going to end with him just disenchanted with the fandom, where it ends with fandom bad, which is, I understand, I'm post fandom, but he's going about it in a weird anarchist capitalist way of hurting Bitcoin. I don't know if he really believes in that. I mean, this is a bit concerning, because this chapter out of context makes it sound like he set up the GameStop thing. Because the entire first half of this is autobiographical. We're just reading about Andrew. We just are. He goes on a ranch with a horse to hide out from his fans, and comes up with these harebrained schemes of getting a clown Sona and an Instagram. And now he's saying, oh yeah, and then I played the stock market and crashed it by buying a bunch of Bitcoin on a specific property. Is D. Clussy taking down the actual government while this game's going on? Did Hussey shoot a cop? Can you imagine? I mean, it was already pretty clear last spring that the actual real life, real physical, real punches gunshot revolution was gonna happen. It was gonna have something to do with Homestuck. And it's gonna happen relatively soon. Things are getting crazy out there. So maybe it seems like such a me thing to do. Like, I'm planning it seems like something I would do, like, oh yeah, as a meta arg to my story about the revolution, I'm gonna start a real revolution. We're too deep now. The leftist movement, at least in the Cascadia region, but on the internet as a whole, is so ingrained into Homestuck that we're gonna have a Homestuck revolution. It's gonna go in the history books. You were shot at by real cops. This bullshit is not. That's wow. Maybe he has too. I don't know. Ugh. The last time I saw Andrew in person, he had a Minion shirt on. He was holding 2 fidget spinners, and he was like dancing down the street. And he had 2 Vriska chicks on his arms. It was great. Formative. Yeah, that's recovering the protest during the May uproar. Wow, that's God. I wanted to run away so bad. I was stuck here in California. I wanted to go north and just do something, but still working on that. Andrew Hussey though. I want to believe. Just pull up the X-Files. I want to believe that Andrew Hussey has a plan, which is all I've been saying. The only difference is that in 2013, I was saying I want to believe he has a plan to end Homestuck in a good way. And then I was saying I want to believe he has a way of doing the epilogues and to be good. And now I'm saying I want to believe he has a way to incite the communist revolution and take down America. So we've escalated a bit, but it's still the same general idea of Andrew Hussey, you promise so much. And then you use these bizarre bullshit moves that make no sense. How do you make a comic in a game about leftism while not crediting and paying your artist correctly? What's happening? Yeah, he never took a stance on any fandom drama like that. He never I know he likes to believe that Word of God doesn't matter, but Word of God, people listen to it. It's clout matters, which is he's saying here, so maybe he understands that now. But it might be time to reread the Homestuck Discord emails. That's the most real Hussey we've ever gotten. And that now we know that would have been at the time he was writing Psycholonials. Like within the same time frame of him progressing through writing this, he would have been emailing Drew and Mackin. So I may need to reread with that context. But we're getting into stuff that I probably shouldn't discuss on stream. Not the free. I have free speech to talk about is Andrew Hussey taking down America. I'll start a podcast about that. But fandom drama? I'll be canceled if I talk about fandom drama. I'm scared of the fandom more than I am of the FBI. Alright. The Nintendo event starts in 20 minutes. I don't feel like I'm going to stream it. This was a little little heavy for me, I'm gonna go watch it with Vinny Vinesauce, which I'm sure this will auto-host one of them. I have all the Vinesauce people in my auto-host, so if you stay on this channel, it'll warp you over there automatically. Also try to stream one more time. I still have the house free for 2 more days. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm glad I got to be loud this week, because I have the house alone. I'll definitely stream every chapter of Psycholonials. I don't know if I'll always be home from work and able to stream the moment it comes out, but I'm gonna try my best, because this is touching such a sensitive part of my being that I need to have people here to bounce off of, or else it's gonna drive me insane. When Z's talking about people from her past digging up her receipts, and she's like, I'm not gonna be afraid anymore. I posted that like a month ago. Z is this weird amalgamation of me and Hussey mended together so that all of our fighting is now this internal fighting of Z on herself, and it's very, very weird to see in a character, especially since it's being written by the person I'm comparing it to. Okay. I'll see you all next time. Have fun with the Nintendo event. I'm hoping for Sora, but it's gonna be Crash.